Do timeouts work? And if not, what does work, if anything?
So timeouts come from a long history of a newer solution than spanking. And I think if you're going to think about, we're not going to spank kids, we're going to do something different,
Right.
the timeouts offer an alternative. Timeouts are still limited in their effectiveness. One of the things that they do is that they make a strong statement to a child. This is unacceptable behavior. I want you to stop doing it. And so a formal timeout, kind of a traditional one, is you actually remove the child from the setting and just kind of keep them aside for a while.
Right.
So the advantage is that you're giving the child a clear message. You're not hurting them. You're not physically hitting them. The disadvantage is that there's so much a child is trying to learn when they're attempting to do something, when they're trying to climb up on the table, when they're trying to get something from their sibling or their friend. There's so much that they're trying to do, and if we just simply remove them from that situation, there's a whole lot of learning. How else could I do that thing? How else could I accomplish what I was trying to figure out? That doesn't happen because there's actually a formal timeout doesn't even have any talking necessarily between the parent and the child. And so my preference is to leave the child in the situation to establish safety, whether I need to hold your hands or are you going to get down from the table or shall I help you get down? And then try to figure out, what are you trying to do? Did you want to climb? Is there something you wanted to reach on the table? Let's figure out a safer way for you to do that so that the child right there in the instant can figure out, if this is what I wanted to do, here's another way that I can do it. So I think there's a lost opportunity when we remove children from situations, when they're in conflict with other children, when they're doing something we don't want them to do.
Unsafe, right?
I think there's a lost opportunity when we don't talk to them and help redirect their behavior, give them information about the consequences of their behavior. When I hit my sister and she cries and then I'm removed from the situation, it's almost like I don't have to deal with her big feelings. When I stay there and I watch her feelings and I think about what happened, I'm much more likely to feel empathy, to feel like I want to do something to help her, than if I'm just simply removed from the situation and my punishment or whatever happens elsewhere. One more thing about timeout is that sometimes a parent gets overwhelmed and they feel like, you know what, I'm not going to be safe in this situation. Let's move my child out of the situation for a while I calm down. And that's a reasonable thing to do. It's important that you safely remove your child. I'm going to have you stay in your room for 3 to 5 minutes. I'll be back. I can't talk to you right now. I'm really upset. We'll talk about it when I get back. And if the parent needs to take a break, you can just say, I need to take a break, and try to figure out how to get the child in a safe place. Sometimes we feel like also children get overstimulated and they need a little bit of a break. But I think whenever we possibly can to help the child stay in that situation and learn an alternative, more successful behavior is going to be ultimately more growthful for the child than removing them.
What an important conversation. What did you find useful in what Janice said? Did anything surprise you?
I might want to use this video with families and staff. I could see a rich discussion about guidance strategies being very stimulating for all of us. Families like to hear how teachers do things and why, but also need time to be honest and share their own experiences.
Janice Kaiser suggests children miss out when we put them in timeout. Now there's a good discussion topic. What kinds of things do they miss out on?
Janice suggests the adult may need a timeout to pause in the heat of the moment when the adult has a lot of feelings. I'd like to bring this up and ask them to share ways they each take care of themselves at times like these. I'm getting excited about this meeting topic.
Your staff could talk that through and select some scenarios for parents to discuss. They could then look at other ways the situation could have been managed to support the child. Families are very interested in getting together and thinking about behavior and guidance. Have you shared topics like these with families? What was your experience? What would you like to learn more about? Reflect on Janice Kaiser's message. You may want to use your portfolio to reflect on your thinking and experience.